She was Africa's richest woman, a billionaire, but not by her own doing. Offshore shell companies, sweetheart deals, and a vault of leaked documents that would dismantle her empire. This is the rise and fall of Isabel dos Santos. Born in 1973 in Baku, Isabel was the daughter of Jose Eduardo dos Santos, the man who would go on to rule Angola for nearly 40 years. Her life was shaped by privilege and proximity to power. She was educated in elite British schools, giving her the polish and connections of the global elite. In the early 1990s, as Angola was emerging from years of war, Isabel started making her first moves in business. She opened a nightclub in Luanda, invested in a trucking company, and dabbled in diamond trading. These ventures seemed modest, but they were stepping stones into much larger opportunities. Opportunities only accessible to someone with her political connections. Over the next 2 decades, her business footprint grew rapidly. She acquired major stakes in Angola's biggest companies, banks, telecom operators, cement factories, energy firms, and media outlets. Her investments reached beyond Angola into Portugal and other parts of Europe. By the time she turned 40, she was already a central figure in the country's economy. In 2013, Forbes named her Africa's first female billionaire. To some, she was a trailblazer, a sign that African women could reach the pinnacle of wealth and influence. To others, she was simply the most prominent beneficiary of Angola's entrenched system of cronyism. In 2016, her father handed her one of the most powerful positions in the country, head of Sonangol, Angola's state-owned oil company. Sonangol controlled the nation's most valuable resource, and with Isabel at the helm, she had direct oversight of billions in revenue. This appointment was widely criticized as blatant nepotism. During her time in business, Isabel secured highly favorable deals from the state. She acquired prime land at prices far below market value. In some cases, entire communities were displaced from these areas to make way for projects tied to her businesses. One of her most profitable holdings was Unitel, Angola's largest telecom operator. The license for Unitel had begun and granted during her father's presidency, and over the years, the company paid out more than $1 billion in dividends to its shareholders, Isabel being the largest among them. But behind the scenes, money was moving in suspicious ways. Loans and payments connected to Unitel ended up in companies she controlled. The full picture of how she built her fortune only came into focus in January 2020 when the Luanda Leaks were made public. More than 715,000 confidential documents, emails, contracts, spreadsheets were shared with investigative journalists. They revealed an elaborate network of offshore companies and financial structures used to move and hide money. The leaks showed that public funds from Angola has been funneled through shell companies in jurisdictions like Malta, Mauritius, and the British Virgin Islands. Top global consultants firms, including Boston Consultants Group, PwC, and McKinsey, were paid more than $30 million through a Dubai-based company to provide services that helped legitimate her operations. The source of the leaks was Ripton, a Portuguese hacker known for the Football League scandal. His actions triggered a massive international investigation into Isabel's business dealing. After her father stepped down from power in 2017, the political protection she had enjoyed for decades began to fade. The Angolan government moved quickly. In late 2019, her assets in Angola were frozen. Authorities accused her of embezzlement and money laundering. Courts in Portugal, the UK, and Netherlands followed with their own freezes on her holdings. In 2020, she was sanctioned by both the United States and the United Kingdom for corruption. Interpol issued a red notice for her arrest. She has not returned to Angola since, instead residing in Dubai, out of reach of the country's legal system. Her lawyer insists that she is the victim of a political vendetta. She maintains that her wealth was built through legitimate investment and denies any wrongdoing. For many Angolans and observers around the world, the Luanda Leaks confirmed that they had long suspected that her empire was built not on innovation or competition, but on privileged access to state resources. The story of Isabel dos Santos is more than just a personal downfall. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of opaque wealth and unchecked political power. For years, her story was told as one of ambition and success. But when truth surfaced, the very foundation of her empire became her greatest vulnerability. In the rise and fall of Africa's richest woman, we see the consequences of a system where power and wealth are concentrated in the hands of a few, and where the lines between public service and personal enrichment are blurred beyond recognition. If this story made you pause, there's more to uncover. The world is full of untold scandals, stories, and that shows how influence is gained, how fortune are made, and how quickly they can be lost. Stay tuned for the next chapter, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.